Greetings, fellow Cameroonians at home and abroad. This is Capo Daniel, chairman of PRAP, the People's Rights Advocacy Platform. We stand with the interests of our people, the Anglophones who are minority in Cameroon, because our organization advocates for Black minorities across the globe. And in particularly, I am a Cameroonian. I was born in Cameroon, from southern Cameroon, what you may call Ambazonia. It depends on you, but you have the freedom, as I have the freedom, to choose whatever appellation I choose at any moment. In 2 days from now, the elections of Cameroon will be announced. There are things that we need to address about that election. Who is going to be the winner? What to expect from the camp of Issa Chiroma? What we are hearing from his own preparation, which is very critical, and what we are hearing from the lawyers that are in the Constitutional Council, in the Constitutional Court, not the participating lawyers, but associate lawyers who are there, what we are hearing and what we expect. We are going to bring that to you very soon. But there are some things I want to address with you. If you go under my comment section in my YouTube channel, you will find lengthy messages, comments of individuals talking about the announcement of the election result from Bamenda, the Northwest. The result where Paul Biya have a resounding victory, which I call a shame and a disgrace to us Anglophones. The comment is, hey, why even they go vote, they don't vote, what will happen? Hey, election does not mean anything in Cameroon. Hey, okay, why they lock down? So you believe the result? They're asking me, do I believe the result? Do I believe the figures? I want to answer and address this issue once and for all, because there is a illiteracy, stupidity that has kept our people down till today. I'm afraid to call this name. I know a lot of grandmothers, old women who listen to me in particular, always call me and advise me, Capo, please, I like to listen to you, but I don't like you to insult people. But there are some things when you look at it and then you look at the impact on the ground, the amount of people that have died because of these things, you are just so angry that sometimes those words have to be used. But I'm going to take my time today to break down this issue one by one. The first thing is about election corruption in Cameroon. I want to ask you a series of questions. Those who are celebrating that Issa Chiroma is winning, they are happy to see population come out for Issa Chiroma. Why are you happy that he is winning? Have you forgotten that election does not matter? Why are you happy to see election result when they make videos to show that Issa Chiroma has won? Why? Don't you also assume that the elections are useless? Ballot boxes are useless. So why are you happy when you see those videos? It is very important because the credibility of a government, their legitimacy, hangs on the perception of the reality of what is happening on the ground. When it is so obvious that Issa Chiroma have won, that the population do not support Paul Biya or the regime, it hurts and damages their reputation, their credibility, and even their power to exercise sovereignty as recognized by other states. It is very consequential. When they see the demonstration, when we were asking Maurice Kamto, yes, you are the most popular politicians, but have you demonstrated on the street? Do you have that capacity, or can you be courageous to command that manifestation of popular support and protest for what you stand for? If you are afraid of something else or other calculations that you cannot do it eliminates you as a leader, because a leader needs several qualities. It not just requires the potential, but the actualization to be able to prove that you can produce those results. These things are very essential. It is essential even in bringing down the regime or making any meaningful changes in any way you think about it. I want you to be able to ask yourself again this question. Why do you think that? Let me first show you some few frauds that are going on. You understand? Let us go in the case of Masari, or Masaka, how they call it, in Kuseri, where the head of Elekam was bribed 30 million to change the election result in Kosiri. Let's watch the video.
Inti, anna tiibna shaaren tara. Watamji chakmina be 30 million. La yala ko de yala. Danar mana makaro chakama trabana.
Yaman da kuna mal chakama da 30 million. Yama Elekam. Ai ana makari. Da ukaram nasa 30 million anto representa 30 million da wala karana bi sida sa da wala.
For that side, so for Makari, according to Tori we enter we here, it take 30 million francs CFA for say waiting, make result, it touch result, but pass Seba so take him, he go report himself for uniform people, then say nothing that way it take happen, country people them.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that is Kusiri, that is Elekam. 30 million CFA given to the head of Elekam to fraud the result in Kosiri by Pobia and his regime. Why do you think they will bribe somebody 30 million? It is so credible that it was reported on the news. The man confessed he made phone calls to the people within the regime that gave him money, according to the report that we are getting from the ground. Why do you think Pobia will pay somebody in Kosiri, down there in Kosiri, Massacre, how they call the village, to trick the election? Why do you think he would do that? 30 million is not a small money in Cameroon, even for a government to pay those low-level people 30 million. Is to show you that they needed, it's not that they want, they needed, they require that fraud at that level. So, if they needed it to that extent that they can pay 30 million, is to educate you and show you that without that person being able to create that manipulation from that level, there is a potential that they will lose. If they are bribing somebody in Kosiri to change the result, is to show you that they can lose if that person do not perform the way he's supposed to perform at that level. The way the regime and tyranny work is that they have key people in certain place. But for that key people to be able to be effective, they need other people at the bottom to do it. Yes, the head of the Constitutional Council is Paul Biya's childhood friend, a person who is so old that he has nothing to fear. But even that person has its limit. The regime have its limit. Why do you think, I want to ask you, to educate you, I want to ask you this question. Answer it by yourself. Why do you think that CPDM members are trying to stop that ballot box? They try to put ballot inside the ballot box, put more ballot inside. Why do you think that they do it? If the ballot box did not matter to them, if it does not affect their ability to steal the election, if it does not affect their ability to declare Pobia the victory, why do you think they are stuffing ballot box? They should have just allowed it now and make the drama and go to the lab and produce a result. Why do you think that? If it is so important to them, maybe by you answering this question, you will get educated about why we do the things we do and the result we do. We have done a lot of research, engaged with international community, engaged with stakeholders on the ground, people within the regime to see how it works. We have done our homework. If you have been watching me, we don't just come and talk on social media. Yes, because of cyberbullying, many people in my network cannot come publicly, but we are doing our work. So rest assured, there is a potential to stop Pobia. Pobia is not superpower. People are giving him credit even when he's losing. Because of those things, he is more strong. You shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. Let us go now to Akeremuna. Akeremuna and 7 other political parties withdrew their candidature. Withdrew it. According to the law, they have the right. Yet Elekam insists and put their name and their ballot paper in the ballot box. Why did they do that? Because they know that they need people like Akeremuna to be there in that ballot box for them to be able to reduce the vote that Issa Chiruma will have, or for them to be able to manipulate and make the system work for them. Let us listen to Akeremuna in what happened?
Parce que je vois que nous n'avons plus un pays, nous n'avons plus d'institutions. J'ai retiré ma candidature il y a 10 jours, notifié et les CAM et le Conseil constitutionnel. Je vois mes bulletins dans la salle. Ça présage de mauvais jours. Les gens s'amusent avec la vérité de ce pays. À eux seuls d'assumer. Seulement que nous tous, nous allons écoper. Ça là, ça ne se fait nulle part. On ne peut obliger personne à être candidat. Et aucun texte qui l'oblige à l'être. On se rappelle d'Anta Gassagaï qui s'est retiré la veille des élections. Ses bulletins n'étaient pas dans la salle. Mais là, 10 jours avant, notifié avoir d'huissier, je vois un bulletin. À quelle fin? Pour semer la confusion des années. Ceux qui pensent qu'ils vont gouverner un pays dans cet état se trompent, vraiment se trompent.
Okay. Did you have representatives of your party here? Did they not notice these irregularities earlier today?
I'm not a candidate. Why should my representative be there?
But we understand that you're not a candidate, but
Yeah.
you gave your support, or you decided to support another candidate.
I withdrew my candidacy.
Okay.
Who I supported is neither here nor there. You cannot force somebody to be a candidate. I withdrew my candidacy, and my ballot paper should not be in there 10 days before by a bailiff. This is demagogy. This is not democracy. This is thievery. It's sad for our country.
So that is Akeremuna telling you people that his ballot paper is not supposed to be there according to the law. He has withdrawn his candidature to support Bello Buba. His candidate paper was not supposed to be in the ballot box, but it was there. Why are they doing that? They are vulnerable. They have weaknesses. You should know. I'm telling you all these things to show you that I am fighting the regime more than you are ever thinking, more than you can imagine. When we came to negotiate in Canada, the first thing the Cameroon government requested that me, Capo Daniel, I stop my propaganda. They know my potential. They know what I'm doing. They know the effect and the impact on and influence in what I do within their system, without their system, in the general public. They know. They know. So, rest assured that Pobia has his own limit. His ability to steal and maintain power has limits and have weaknesses. And his greatest fear is for those weaknesses to be exploited. Issa Chiruma, why do you think he left the government to run? He was there in the last ministerial meeting with Pobia to see their strategy and everything that have been put in place, to saw the capacity given by the United Nations to the Cameroon government to secure free and fair election. Why do you think that he come out to run? If there was no, it doesn't have any meaning. It doesn't have any impact. There is a slight opportunity. There is a big opportunity to take Pobia out of power. Dictators that are bigger than Pobia, stronger and have more international support than Pobia has fallen down from people's power. Look at Omar Bashir in Sudan. Look at the tyrants in Tunisia. Do you think Pobia is brutal? He's worse than Pobia. There are many. Look at Syria. The president ran away. Look at Sri Lanka. Look at Nepal. Don't think that Cameroon is so exceptional. No, they are human beings, flesh and blood like everybody else. Issa Chiruma, the reason why Pobia is afraid of Issa Chiruma, he knows the capacity that Issa Chiruma has to challenge him. These are the people who were given names for people to be put in the military, given names of military people to be promoted. He has peoples within the system that he is a potential threat to Pobia. And you are seeing him exploiting the links he has with the Yola chief, the Yola Imam in Nigeria, the president of Chad, and the military people in Chad, and even the rebels in Chad, and the ones in Central Africa. If it means for him to march down to Yaoundé with force, there are Cameroon military that are going to align with him, and Cameroon is going to fall down like a chips. Even if it means that he want to take out Pobia personally, he can take him out. Not that we are calling for violence, because Cameroonians are tired. Cameroonians are tired. So know that we know these statistics. In my own village, my own auntie who did not register for vote, who is dead, her name and her picture appeared in the register list. It was sent to me by CPD and people. Do you think they are happy? Do you think they don't know? They are not ashamed? Do you think they feel empowered to be with the government after seeing all these things? Those who want the regime to come to an end, the dictatorship to come to an end, for Cameroonians to have more freedom, for your people to have more freedom and economic stability, they are all happy with this exercise that is going on. for more than one reason. For more than one reason. Be educated. Now, I want to take you to our own Ambazonian illiteracy, stupidity. I mean the stupidness. Not only Ambazamzam, I lack word to qualify it, that has made our people to suffer and be in a state of coma, which they find themselves into. By doing all these things, I hope it will educate all those who listen to me and affect their comments on the comment section. But there are some who are lost. Remember that Cecilia Amabo of Ayabacho sent Amber boys to go and kidnap her own brother's child because the brother have a son who is in the Cameroon army. To tell you that we have people who have been indoctrinated and have embraced extremism to the point of self-destruction, and now it is communal destruction and Ambazonian destruction. With what you have seen around. Let me go to Don Pasho. He's one of our Ambazonian activists. We know that the main person who declared lockdown were the soldiers on the ground who carried attack against the Cameroon military. But they were supported by Mark Barata. I call him Mark Barata because he is the face, one of those that we trusted when this struggle started to speak. But he has just fallen into this web of stupidity and foolishness that has ruined him and destroyed a lot of things in our country and our potential. But listen to this guy called Don Pasho, and I will comment later. You will understand a lot of things because what? Knowledge is power, and only the truth shall set us free. I am an angel of the truth. I am an agent of the truth, speaking the word of truth to set you free. Let's listen to this guy, Don Pasho, to remind you people what happened before this election. Listen to him.
Anybody will go out on the 11th and the 12th of October 2025 because of your publication, anything will happen for that person. We Ambazonians, we will hold you responsible. We Ambazonians, we will hold you responsible. As you give that your thing where you write and say Ambazonian them don't say they suspend lockdowns, you don't give them, some of them go out. Fighters will not be free for do what you want to do. We rebel will not say no more leave them for the way we just try way for educate. I come out for educate the other day. I be on a live show. But me for as you don't make this publication, anything will happen for any Ambazonian citizen on the 11th and the 12th of October, we Ambazonians will hold you and your government of La Republic of Cameroon responsible. Any man where he lost his life these 2 days, Mimi Mefo is responsible. I be talk for my live show. Say would intensify lockdowns on the 11 and 12. Now a new day we man even venture for come off outside.
So now the illiteracy foolishness this. So you go talk to me your own soldier, then go kill innocent civilian, then way they no carry gun, unarmed civilian them. Then you go blame na mimime for you and poor government. For your own soldier, then go kill your own people. Wait, now the evil and wicked extremism this way, it don't put way for place all day.
Anybody will go out on the 11th and the 12th of October 2025, fighters will not be free for do what you want to do.
Una hear instruction, fighters will not be free for do what we want to do. Basically, supporting the threat for key people them on that day, authorizing it, instigating it, validating it, justifying it. You do ask why Ambazonia so that they kill our people them anyhow, use weapon anyhow. These are the reasons. These are the people, the canker worms, the evil, foolishness. I cannot qualify it. Well, my people, that is what happened. That is Don Pasho. You have heard him. That is what happened before this election. These are the people who give Paul Biya the victory. And today they will be pretending that they support Issa Chiruma because they are so foolish. I do not want to insult him because people have advised me, please don't insult people. But when you look at the damage they have caused, sometimes it's hard to hold back. Listen to what he has done. These are the people who granted this victory to Paul Biya, and I'll tell you why. First, what did he say? He direct attacks against everybody that goes out on the 11th and 12th to vote in Southern Cameroon. He take away the responsibility for people to kill them by saying that he is blaming Mimi Mefo. Mimi Mefo, who is a journalist, who just simply broadcast a message that came from one of the Ambazonian groups, because we have so many groups. Every group have their rights to say what they want to say. And journalists have the right to publicize it, whether you like it or not. That is how the world works. You cannot be saying you are fighting for freedom and then you are fighting against freedom now. So journalists have the freedom and the right. You are first of all attacking a journalist as an Ambazonian activist, sending a bad signal to the international community that nobody will like you, nobody will listen to Ambazonian struggle again, because they cannot tolerate people threatening journalists in this manner. Secondly, you are taking away responsibility from the soldiers in their ability to conduct arms or to support what you are doing, what you are campaigning for. Thirdly, he is telling the soldiers, you can do whatever you want to people who come out to vote. So they can go out and kill people and do whatever. The blame is not going to be on them. It's going to be on Mimi Mefo. This stupidity and illiteracy, where they think that people with arms will go and kill unarmed civilians for light things. This is what you call excess use of force, misuse of live arms, misappropriation use of force, killing of unarmed civilians. These are all things that are categorized under war crimes. He's a war criminal. He's a criminal. These are people who sit in their bed and they were wishing that they were massacred against our civilians by Amber boys. Giving instruction to Ambazonian soldiers. His indication he's giving to Ambazonian soldiers is that what? On these days of election, go out. Anybody who comes out, go and kill them as much as you want. You will never be held accountable. You will not be blamed. You are justified because we want people not to vote. And now Mimi Mefo will be blamed. So those who oppose those stupid ideas will be blamed according to them. That is the illiteracy, illogical, and foolishness that has kept our people and allowed illiterates to take control of the people of Anglophones, their struggle, and they are claiming it is their own. It is not their own. They are the problems we face today. They are the reason why our population is in the form of stagnation, or what I would call vegetative state. They are in a state of coma. Our population is in a stage of kidnap, of hostage by this type of foolish ideology, where people think that they will blame people with other opinion for the death of people. No. To kill people on the ground, if you kill anybody, you are responsible for that action. And if you abet, justify, and support these boys, their action, or give them a blank check, you are responsible, Don Pasho. It's just that, thank God of our pushback, those soldiers did not act. Our campaign makes sure that they don't act, because they listen to everybody too. You cannot stop them from listening from everybody. So these are the stupidity that has led our people to be in where they are. You think that because Cameroon can steal elections, so nobody should go and vote. So why are you even fighting in the first place if you think that you cannot also get independence? Do you think you can get independence? How can you get it? So understand, my people. There is a reason. We know how the elections was rigged. What they did, from what we have seen, is that they went out. They sent specific people to go out and do registration for ID card. They registered ID card for people that were more susceptible to listen to them, CPTM people. During the voting exercise, the United Nations have put mechanism to have transparent and true elections in Cameroon. They have done so. They did seminars. We have those booklets. I have pictures of booklets and seminars that way. They taught people, or election observers and representatives of political parties, how to secure the result. People were ready to count their votes. What they did is, when they've cast votes, the people that had ID card were automatically put in the list of people given to the United Nations as voters registry. So they inflated the voters registry. Those who don't go to vote, those ones, the electoral official put stamps on their name against the name that they have voted for the CPDM. That's why you see the result in Bamenda reflecting the voters, the ID card list that were registered for ID card in those regions, in Boyo, in Bui, and in many other places in the Northwest province. What enabled them to succeed is that we do this block down, we threaten people, And people who really represent our people and their eye, who could stop this thing from happening, were not able to participate, were not able to be there. So the lockdown is what gives Biya that ability, flexibility to do what he wants. That is why the election result in the Northwest in particular is so devastating for the people of Cameroon, because they gave Paul Biya everything he wants. They are working exactly the way Paul Atanganji wants them to work. But they are so foolish and ideological that they cannot even understand, even if they listen to me, because I speak in a way that even a baby can understand. That is my gift from God. I was an evangelist. I studied law and political science. So it's a gift that is my calling. Even if they listen, like they say, if you are condemned, your conscience will seal your mind so that you don't listen to knowledge. But the good news is that they are alone. They are the minority. This platform is the biggest Ambazonian platform, and we speak for the interests of our people. The international community recognizes that, our people recognize that. So, we had told our people for these past 2 years, engage in the registry, because it helps the government use it as some type of a census in allocating government positions and vote and all those type of things. It is so wide that our people are foolish not to engage. Elections is effective, whether you want to use it for negotiation or use it to challenge the regime or to delegitimize the regime. It is so important that we're supposed to participate. Read all history of every liberation movement. We went to Cambodia with the people from Aceh. They told us how parliamentarians help their cause and how they coordinate within the various civil society movement. In our own, these illiterates, they go out to attack journalists, attack people who disagree with them, send soldiers to kill anybody. They act worse than dictatorships. That is why Ambazonian will become a curse. That name Ambazonian, mark my word, will become a curse for the generation that will be born. Because when those illiterate, when the children will come out tomorrow, they are illiterate, they didn't go to school. They see their counterpart who went to school. Go and look in South Africa, they will turn and curse that word Ambazonia. Perhaps our fathers in the SCNC who rejected that name Ambazonia, that it was what type of name that Godidinka brought, perhaps they know something that we don't know. Because every warning we have given, every education we have given, have not been met by reasonable challenge or intellectual engagement, because they lack it, but have been met by idiocy, threat, blackmail that does not move us. Remember one thing, the truth always prevail, light always shine, darkness will always vanish. Look at every people who have challenged me, insulted me. They are in prison today, not because of anybody, but because of their own doing. Because when you are evil, you allow people to be killed, you instigate people to be killed. You are a devil, you are a demon. All those who are carrying this name Ambazonia struggle, they've carried it to this level where they are asking people to kill people, instigating the killing of innocent civilians, promoting it, justifying it, authorizing it. They are evil. They are worse than Paul Biya. And our people know that. But I want you, the general public, to be educated, because this is the no Konitok zone. Don't forget, the ground upon which you stand determines how far you can go, whether you can succeed. As they say, if you build your house on a sandy soil, you will collapse when the wind will come. For you to be able to speak, you must be able to vote and participate and be in that electron register. Otherwise, you cannot speak, you cannot challenge. For Issa Chiruma to be able to challenge and fight Paul Biya effectively, he needs to be in that vote. He needs to prove that he has a majority of Cameroonians with him. Cameroonians need to prove that they are with him. Now, he has the sovereign power. He can bargain. He can go to the Chad government, go to the Yola government, go to the Central African rebels, because he is a Muslim. He's a Fulani. And tell them, I have this support. These people have cheated me. This is a proof. They will come there to support him. He can go to America and tell them, I have the proof. This man is a cheat. He has cheated me. They will come and support him. He have the right to fight. The conscience of those soldiers who were supposed to listen to Cameroon, Paul Biya, and Paul Ntanganji to go and kill people, they cannot, because they can see clearly that people have won. People do not support the regime. So to demonstrate all these things is very critical and so important that we cannot overemphasize. That is why we were campaigning for people to participate, to feel engaged. If you are not strategic and to be flexible enough, And to think that because in the past you declare lockdown, you are condemned for all of your life to declare lockdown. To think that in the past, because you say you want Ambazonia and independence, to feel that you are condemned to always want independence. That is why our people on the ground, because they have been doing lockdown repeatedly in the past, they think that they cannot live without lockdown or ghost town. No, we must be flexible and put the interests of our people ahead of every other calculation. Their livelihood, their survival, their comfort, their freedom is primordial, is first. That is what we stand for in PRAP. We stand for the people's right. We advocate for the people's right. We push for the people's right. We use our influence, our connection to advance and promote and sustain. Our vision is for the people's right, to give them empowerment. We stand for the betterment of the people of Cameroon, Anglophones and Francophones. Even so, the Anglophones, because we have suffered injustice, things that Paul Biya himself has acknowledged, things that his own colleagues, Issa Chiroma, has confessed and asked for repentance. That is the way forward. Those who want to fight the regime, wants to fight for their people, must use the ground that can give the result that the people want. Must stand on the solid ground, on the solid foundation to advocate and push. Foolishness will only bring calamity. Look at the case of Mangang. Look at the case of Ayabacho and all those who have embraced extremism that has gone against our people, who have been muted the love of our people in their heart because of their own shortcoming and inability to produce result. Shortcuts will not take us anywhere. We must be reasonable. We are dealing with human lives here. The voices of those who have gone before us, who still call upon us, we still see them in our dreams, asking for justice. It will be unjust for us to go home, go back empty hand after our life. We should be able to give to the next generation something better. And the only way we can do it is to do what is necessary, what is logical, what is pragmatic, what is realistic. Because they will never forgive us if we do not give them a better future. John Frundi brought a lot of freedom in Cameroon. Most of those freedom have been eradicated, have been erased. Cameroon Union have destroyed all we have. Now we are instead destroying even worse than they have destroyed. We must take conscious steps, calculated steps, visionary steps to build something that will benefit our people, to protect our identity. If that can be done only within this one Cameroon, let us look for ways to do it. We owe the people who have looked upon us, the people that we promote Ambazonian flag, the people that we promote all these things to, we owe them to deliver for them real solutions, tangible results. This election was vital. It is vital. And the population must remain engaged. They must stand up. They must demonstrate their rejection of the regime, rejection of the proposition of Paul Biya to solve this Anglophone problem, embracing of the new apologetic, settled manner that empowers our people to be part of the solution, to self-determine what they want for the future for our people, which is what Issa Chiroma symbolizes, has embraced. All Cameroonians who want peace, the Anglophone issue is the cardinal issue in Cameroon. Go and talk to everybody. The real opposition is not opposition party, it's Ambazonia. This is the elephant in the room. This is critical. This is critical. Have a good day, everybody.